to make the following announcement in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act known as the Senate Moderating here. Open Public Meetings Act was amended and supplemented Chapter 31 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey passed 1975. Notice of this meeting was given by adopting the annual schedule located time and date, sending copies to the Home News Tribune, posting the Borough Hall, and finally a copy to the Borough Clerk within 7 days following the annual organization meeting of this body. I'd like you to rise now for an invocation given by Councilwoman Rasmussen, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Welcome everyone tonight, all the visitors and citizens. I would like to take a moment to remember Luigi the Barber, who was a businessman in town for many, many years. We recently lost him, and our sympathy goes out to his family.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Katie, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Mayor. Councilman Wallace?
Here.
Councilwoman Rubin?
Not here.
I'm sorry. Councilwoman Rasmussen?
I think I'm here.
Councilwoman Insero?
Most definitely here.
Councilman Grazel?
Here.
Councilman Camerano?
Here.
Council President Muldoon?
Here. Okay, we are at that point in a meeting where I have invited in Evan Robbins and the Breaking the Chain group from the Metuchen High School. It's a pleasure, Evan, to have you. Evan's a former colleague, but I'm going to give him the floor so he could talk a little bit about the program that Metuchen students have been involved in, and then we're going to have some readings from the students, and then we have a proclamation for the Breaking the Chain.
I just want to take a couple of minutes to explain the project. Project started when I saw this picture of a boy named Mark Quadwell. He's a 6-year-old boy who was a trafficked child. My daughter was the same age at the time, and this was 6 years ago. These are some examples of what the children, the kind of work they do on the lake. This is Joshua. And what happened is my students pushed me, and we pushed each other, and we decided we had to do something about it, and started an organization called Breaking the Chain Through Education, whose goal is to rescue trafficked children sold into slavery. We rescued 30 children from slavery, built a school, and built teacher housing. We've just finished completing fundraising to hire a person for the following year to oversee the 30 children, provide them with food once a month, a little additional to help them get by, and to make sure they're doing well. We're also going to help a couple of the mothers who need help financing jobs for their families. Here's an example of Joshua before and after being trafficked. Here's Wisdom. These are some of the children we got released for building the school. We had 13 children here, but eventually 19 children were released from the village of Abati Tornu. Boy was illiterate 2 years later. This is some of the work he was doing. This is him. This is Bright. When I saw him in February, he told me he wanted to be a bank manager. So they have not given up their goals for the future. This is his mother, and she was very thankful to have him back. This is Andrew. He fell on the edge of a boat and had a couple of his vertebrae kind of knocked out of alignment, and he has had 2 surgeries to repair it. He actually had been playing soccer the day we saw him. This beautiful girl is Benis, and she is was one of the kids from Abati Tornu. That's much better, thank you. And she wants to be a nurse. One of the boys, Kojo, lost an eye while fishing, and he was still forced to dive in the water to untangle the nets. This is what he looked like when he was rescued, and this is him today. So you see the transformation. He would like to be a doctor to be able to help other children who have been injured and hurt. I was made a citizen of the community by the Paramount Chief. This is the head of our Parent-Teacher Association. And this is the school we built. It's 6 classrooms with 4 offices, and we'll eventually have about 250 to 300 children attending. This is me with the students at our school. I'm in the front. And they had me dedicate the school when I was there. One of the classrooms was dedicated to Metuchen High School for all the work that they've done. And there's still children working out there, and our goal is to rescue 20 more children this year. And we're on a $70,000 fundraising campaign to do so. Joshua again. This is when I first saw him. Sort of like my son. Kids are really cute. And these are kids in our school. And the way you tell the difference between the traffic children and the regular children is the traffic children don't smile. This is Prince. He was trafficked for 10 years, since the age of 5. He was released in 2010, and he's, actually, sorry, 2010. He's doing so well that next year he's going to be attending high school, and we're going to pay for his high school education. They go to a boarding school, and we're going to take care of his boarding school and his high school, and eventually college, I hope. He wanted to be a teacher. Another child we rescued, he wants to be a preacher, actually. This is at his school. I think he was also a teacher. And this is from winning the award last year, and we've again won the award from Charity Champions as the best charity in New Jersey. Here's Vida, and some of the work the children are doing. It's my Abercrombie model. And this is kind of the picture that symbolizes the work. I took this last year, and the boy was a traffic child working on a boat named Dignity. And our goal is to truly bring dignity and care to them. The activities I do at Metuchen High School are done with my students, and their incredible creativity and enthusiasm. And Mr. Vahal came to the dinner we had a few weeks ago, and at the time asked me to come and to bring some of the students we brought. I decided to bring, and he asked us to bring, the students who perform the slam poetry. So I have 3 of them here tonight, and I'm going to let them show you how great they are. Liz, would you like to go first?
Hi, my name is Liz Vinstein. I'm a senior at Metuchen High School. This is my poem. Contrary to what many Americans believe, freedom is not free. It comes at a cost, an unbelievable fee. We live in the home of the brave and the land of the free. We are lucky, fortunate to know our lives won't be sold into misery. But in Ghana, mothers, fathers put a price on their children's liberty. Children as young as 3 are forced to endure modern slavery. You, we promised to learn from history, to make slavery a sin of the past, not a horror that still lasts. Today, we gather here as a movement for change, to end a practice that is inhumane, to rescue children from a horrific fate, to help the world in this fight for basic human rights, to raise our voices for those who aren't being heard, to save these children who live every moment in fear. Today, we gather here to break the chain. Thank you.
My name is Sagir Khan. I'm a senior at Metuchen High School. How can you sit there, so heartless and cold, while children are being sold at only 4 years old? And as are their souls, only be left with a hole where the heart should be, yet no one can see. Open your eyes, people. There's an injustice being done. These children, that's right, children, work day in and day out, but we just go along and have our fun. I'm sorry, do you mind if I start over? Went to block.
Hi, I'm Oliver Owens. I'm also a senior at Metuchen High School. Crack. Do you hear that sound? Boom. Does your head start to pound? 'Cause we're breaking the chain, sunshine or rain, doing it every day 'cause he felt the pain of a people oppressed, a people with the worst who deserve the best 'cause they're people, a people undressed, no shirts, no shoes, no service, but we're up to the test. Let's see, liberty and an end to slavery, just like we have from sea to shining sea, equality. It's our responsibility, 'cause you and you and you, you're all the same as me. Fraternity, 'cause we're all in this together, whether you like it or not, even in the stormy weather. Yup, that's what we want. We want it for Ghana. Some people punt the ball, but we hold it for longer, 'cause we're fighting the good fight. We've seen Africa's plight. It won't happen overnight, but we know that we are right. Extend in a helping hand, hoping someone understands not to obey their commands, 'cause we've got a new set of plans. So the next time you're thinking about how you spend your money, consider that triple scoop vanilla sundae. With the whipped cream, it tastes like a dream, just $5.99, and if that's fine, well, it's on you, 'cause they're here too. They are real, can't you feel their hunger, their strife, the misfortune in their life? I'm not asking you to radically change the way you live. I'm just asking you to consider your capacity to give, because this cause is noble, this cause is bold. Every single day, these kids are bought and sold, and it's not easy as a 1, 2, 3, or A, B, C, baby, you and me, to end slavery, or to bring education to Ghanaian towns and turn the lives of these children upside down. A lot of time, effort, and money go into this cause, but it's still hungry, like that caterpillar or Jaws. Can't you see what America's done? Can't you see our precedent? We ended slavery here when Day Lewis was president. So I'd say it's only right, I'd say it's only fair. If we've got no slavery here, there should be no slavery there. And for all the talk of the state of American public education, just consider the state of learning in this African nation. They want to go to school, so we're doing our best. For Jacob, for Kojo, and for all the rest. I'm not asking you to feel guilty. I'm not saying you should. But instead of going home sad and frustrated, here's a chance to do some good. Spread the word. Thank you.
My apologies, I was feeling a little bit under the weather. How can you sit there, so heartless and cold, while children are being sold at only 4 years old? And as are their souls, only to be left with a hole where their heart should be, yet no one can see. Open up your eyes, people. There's injustice being done. They work day in and day out. Will we just go in and have our fun? With a triple shot decaf, half-half mocha lattes, that cost more than one of these child makes in a day. And our movies and malls, designer bags, 52-inch flat-screen TVs, and iPhones that we complain about when it lags. And I'm not saying you don't deserve it. You work hard for what you have. But just know that's their damn bad luck, that they were born there, and you were born here. For in God's eyes, we're all equal. And here's where we stop it. There will not be a sequel. 7.23 billion walk this earth. And most flow through life unnoticed. And here's your chance to stop the hurt. Here's your chance to make a difference.
So, could you have the students come up also?
Before I read the proclamation, I just wanted to let people know that this is the third year in a row that you've won.
3 out of 4. We didn't know we could compete after we won.
Okay. 3 out of 4. They won another $5,000 for from Cable Vision, which they'll be receiving a check. Again, they already received $1,200 this year, and every penny goes for this cause. So they'll be receiving another $5,000 towards this goal. And as a colleague and a friend, I was there having started this whole thing with his students. It's quite amazing, the accomplishments and the number of students that have been involved in Metuchen High School. So Evan, here's the proclamation. Hope I could read it well. Whereas Evan Robbins, a social studies teacher at Metuchen High School, and volunteer students formulated Breaking the Chain, And whereas this group, in existence for over 6 years, grew with the efforts and hard work of more than 800 students, numerous staff members, and administrators at Metuchen High School. And whereas the group raised over $200,000 through various fundraising activities. And whereas the purpose of Breaking the Chain is to build and maintain a school in Ghana, to educate children and reduce the chance of being sold as slaves. And whereas the group, through its efforts, has freed 30 children from the bondage of slavery. Whereas the Breaking the Chain has received major monetary awards, all of which have applied to the school construction, maintenance, and freeing other children who are slaves in Ghana. Whereas the efforts of Mr. Robbins and the Breaking the Chain has gained recognition of the cable Power to Learn program. And whereas the school now educates 175 children with the skills to lead a more productive and fulfilled life. Now therefore be resolved by the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Metuchen would like to extend its congratulations and best wishes to Mr. Evan Robbins and all of the students involved in Breaking the Chain effort, and wish them continued success and support in their future efforts. And be it further resolved that the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Metuchen would like to recognize and applaud Evan Robbins for his efforts in teaching students community service, and a community service which involves the global community. Evan, thank you. Thank you. If you have anything else that you'd like to say, or students, do you want to say something?
I just thank you very much for the honor and the recognition, and we appreciate all of your support.
Anybody from the council would like to add something?
I was actually also at the dinner, the fundraiser dinner, and it is just amazing how Mr. Robbins inspires the students. He had a group of students doing some African dances that looked so authentic, and these are kids that probably never stepped foot in Africa, and it was just really so beautiful how they were able to learn how to do these dances. They were amazing.
They choreographed it themselves, too.
It's just an inspiration. It's such great work that's going on. I really appreciate your efforts.
Anyone else?
Just a quick comment that listening to the students and your poetry was amazing, and the delivery was, I don't know how you did that. But it's great to hear how you recognize things that we take for granted, like liberty and freedom, and I think that's one of the values of this program, is making not just students, but all of us realize how precious those things are, and things that we take for granted, and people are still fighting and suffering for those things today. So, great work.
Evan, if people are interested in contributing, how do they go about doing it?
You can visit our website at breakingthechainthrougheducation.org, or you can just use the initials, WWBTCTE. They can reach out to us at the high school, and I have students all over the town involved in this.
Thank you.
Again, Evan, thank you again, and we'll work out. I understand the date is being worked out when you'll be getting the other check.
Yes.
Hopefully it won't be the 17th of May, because I'm already committed and I would love to be there. But if we could do it another day, if it's up to Cablevision, and I'm not a key cog in this, but I would just love to be there to honor you.
Okay, thank you very much.
And the students. Thank you again. Okay, we have a motion to open the agenda session.
I move that we open the agenda session.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Mayor, I have one thing, Resolution 2013-103. I'd like to pull that just for some discussion from the new business consent agenda.
Okay. I also, is there any other? I also want to alert you to a resolution which was added very late, which is 2013-105. What this resolution will do is allow all businesses in the downtown area to put a table and chair out. Up to that time, it was not a permitted use, a permitted thing, but they would still have to maintain and show proof of the insurance as with the others. It also extends so that the restaurants in the other areas of town, in the Central Ave area and in the South Main area, will be able to put tables and chairs out in their areas. Right now, that's not a permitted use, a permitted ability in the restaurants on South Main and on Central Avenue. So this will kind of level the playing field in that way, but also in the downtown, people could put out a table and 2 chairs in the downtown area, as long as they are maintaining and showing proof to the zoning officer of the insurance. So I think it's a step forward for our businesses and also for the businesses in the other areas of town.
And Mayor, it expands it to retail businesses, not, it's not just for restaurants, right?
Right now, it's only for restaurants in the downtown area, but this will say any business in the downtown area that would like to do it, as long as they have the insurance, proof of the liability insurance.
Mayor, do retail businesses normally have public liability insurance? Do you know?
They probably do, and should. One of the reasons when this was passed, they felt that because you had tables and chairs outside, there was more of a chance of some liability of, somebody bumping into somebody spilling something. And so what I would like to do is keep the same requirement of the insurance for everybody, but expand it so that all of the retail in the downtown, plus the restaurants in the other areas, have that ability, where right now they don't have that ability. So if somebody on Central Avenue, a couple of the restaurants there, or a couple of the restaurants on South Main, technically right now should not have tables and chairs out, but this will allow that to happen. Okay? So I just wanted to, it was a late ad, so I wanted to make sure you had that.
Restaurants and retail?
Just the restaurants in the other areas.
Oh, okay.
In the downtown,
It's just the retail, and they can have 1 table.
they could have 1 table, 2 chairs, but in the other areas, I think that's the B2 areas, it will allow for tables and chairs at restaurants.
Okay.
Okay, which is not permitted right now. Okay? Anything else from anybody on the agenda session? Okay.
Mayor, I just want to make a comment on, most people know I had a little health scare a week or so ago, and I just wanted to publicly recognize the EMS, Metuchen EMS, it was my kind of first experience being transported by them, and it was, they were fantastic. They were professional and caring and did an outstanding job, as well as the doctors and nurses and staff at JFK Hospital. So I just wanted to publicly, and also thank our police department, because there was a officer who arrived also when I had the difficulty. So, and thank you to my colleagues here and people in town for your well wishes, and I'm doing fine. So I just wanted to.
So I'll make a habit of it, all right?
No, one time event. So, thank you.
Okay, on the agenda, I am going to skip to the proclamation for Arbor Day because of our notice. We cannot go into the public hearing and adoption of the budget till after 7:30. So, Councilwoman, you have the resolution, the proclamation.
Mayor.
If you would invite any members from the shade tree up, and then you could read that.
Mayor, can we close the agenda session?
Oh, sorry. Is there can we
I
close?
move that we close the agenda session.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.
I'd like to invite a couple of the members that were able to come tonight for the proclamation. We have Maggie and Lynette.
I have to listen in here.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Whereas in 1872, I guess I'll get a mic here. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas the borough will hold their National Arbor Day observance on May 8th, 2013, and is the 141st anniversary of the holiday, and whereas National Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas the benefits of trees as part of a stable global environment are well recognized, and whereas the special importance of trees in urban areas in reducing energy use and maintaining an awareness of the natural world is also evident, and whereas the Borough of Metuchen is committed to preserving and renewing its numerous and beautiful trees which enhance the quality of life in our community. Now, therefore, I, Thomas Vahala, Mayor of the Borough of Metuchen, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, do proclaim May 8, 2013, as the official celebration of Arbor Day in the Borough of Metuchen, and urge all the people of Metuchen to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. Further, I urge all citizens to plant trees as a source of joy and spiritual renewal and to promote the well-being of this and future generations. Dated May 6, 2013. Maggie? Happy Arbor Day. Happy Arbor Day.
Same.
I'll give that to you to take for our celebration. And I would just like to quickly announce that we will be celebrating Arbor Day at Edgar School with the Environmental Club right after school Wednesday.
Thank you very much. Council President, could we have a motion to approve the council
Sure.
minutes?
I move that the minutes of the meetings on October 1st, 2012, and October 15th, 2012 be approved as presented.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'm still going to go to opening it to the public for any questions or comments right now. Just come up and state your name and address.
Elliot Jarman, 20 Rose Street. Excuse me. I am here in reference to a property that I have at 83 Main Street. I guess 2 weeks ago, they came out to plant trees. And I'm going to make this short. I came there when the fellow's going to put the tree in, and I asked him to stop. And short words is, he doesn't have to. They have the right of way to do what they want with those trees. I said, that's nice to know. Government's jamming something down my throat. I said, we just took an oak tree out of here, did a lot of damage. I don't want another tree. Again, they can put the tree in. I says, fine, please stop. I'm going to run down the barrel. I want to see if I can get some information. When I came back, the tree was planted, not between the curb and the sidewalk, but on the lawn. Now, he told me that he couldn't put it dead center where the old oak was because there's still a stump partially under the ground. I said, I know, the borough took the tree down, ground the stump the best they could. I don't want a tree, especially on the lawn. You put it right on top of the line of my sewer pipe. I did come down to the Borough Hall. I talked to the borough administrator if he can help me. He said he'll look into it. Okay, I know he has a lot of things on his plate. I came back, I believe it was 5 days, 6 days later, and I asked him, and he said he tried something, I don't remember what, but it goes to the Shade Tree Commission. I says, now I got a tree on my lawn. I don't want it there. It's off-centered. It looks terrible. I'm not a very good speaker right now, but I have pictures here I want to lay out and show you how they did their work in this town, which to me is ludicrous what they've done. And if I may, I'll put it across
If you
your
could
counter.
bring those up.
Explain it to you.
Your Honor? Is the tree on your property?
Yeah, and I was told they divide the road in half.
You're gonna need to get the, and then go back to the microphone so they
Okay.
can hear you.
Well, I
I
just
don't
want
mean
the
to
layout
interrupt
so
you.
you can see it.
Yeah, no, I understand, but they have to hear you for the recording.
Gee, can I take this microphone?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
it
That's
will
fine.
work,
Anyone?
yeah.
Anyone?
Okay, I believe the first one, if I can see which we're doing, just from the front. The back ones don't count. No, those are just doubles. Okay, this is showing where it is on the property. I wanted it anywhere from here and down. He said he couldn't put it there. I says, well, you move over 2 feet or 3 feet to there, or the same on this side. There's where the tree is.
Mhm.
All right, now, as we go along, this is the house next door. Facing me, it's to the right. They put a new tree right there.
Okay.
His oak tree came down during the storm, was over here.
Mhm.
This is the same property, but at the far end, he's got 2 trees.
Okay, so he has one on each side.
Yes. This is the house after it, another tree.
Mhm. All between the curb and the
Right.
sidewalk. Are there
Is it-
wires above?
No, the wires are on the opposite side by the Bruno estate.
Okay.
And which he told me this coming fall, the fellow I talked to, I don't want to mention his name, said on the Bruno side, they're going to take all those big trees down and plant trees on those people's lawn. And I told him the borough doesn't have a budget for that. So that's that. This is looking from across the street to where the tree is.
At your house.
Right. Where it can be anywhere is if it's forced on me.
It could be here or here.
Right. That's all I want. Just take this tree out, put it back over here.
Okay.
All right? Again, the same, that's a double.
Okay.
In other words, right where this grinding is here, you can't put a tree.
Right, that I understand, but
Anywhere's out here, you can.
it could. Okay.
And then it will match the tree that's on the other side of that driveway.
Okay.
Okay, now this is Essex Avenue between Rose Street and Safety Place.
Mm-hmm.
If you look, you'll see 2 trees, or excuse me, this is the wrong, I'm sorry. This is mine, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. This is the one. If you look
This
here.
is Essex Avenue, and they're
Correct.
back in the right-of-way.
They put the trees on this fellow's lawn, one there, one there. The house next door, which I think will be the next picture, the same thing. They put the trees, you look between there and here, on their lawns.
Okay. But I think the wires are here, too,
Yep.
and that's why
But
they...
if you look 2 houses before, all on that side of the street, all the trees between the curb and the sidewalk under the wires.
Okay.
And the reason he was telling me they don't want to do it, because when PSE&G contracts to tree people to cut them, they don't cut trees, they butcher them.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, totally ruin a tree.
Can we keep these?
Yes.
Okay. Would you pass them?
Sure, we'll kind of pass them around.
Okay, pass
All
them.
I'm asking is, for the council, to the Shade Tree Commission, if I have to have the tree, I'm forced with having it, put it between the curb and the sidewalk.
Okay.
That's what I ask.
Okay.
Fill in the hole on the lawn.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Council?
Now, when were you notified that the tree was going to be put in?
All right, all right, because we send out 2 notices. 2 notices go out. The first notice goes out saying that you're going to be getting a tree to, inform you in case there's any problem. And then the second note goes out about a week before telling you that the lines are going to be marked where your utilities are, and then also that there will be a spray painted circle there. And I also have another question for you. You reside in that home, correct? You do not. So maybe your tenants got it and did not inform you.
It should go to the owner. Well, it should be going to the owner of the property either way, because who knows what the tenants' names are.
Well, I get the information for the fire department that have to renew
Right.
their
Correct.
stuff that comes to my address where I live,
Right.
showing the properties that I have that have to be inspected, and I have to pay the $40 fee.
Right.
But I get anything else, but I never got anything about any trees.
Okay.
Because if I did, I'd approach the council way before it happened.
Do we
Okay.
know, are those notices mailed or are they dropped off by somebody?
They're mailed.
And are they done off the tax records, or how are they established?
I think what happens is if we're going to do, say, the Main Street, we'll just look at the addresses and write down the addresses.
I think that
And
probably
it goes,
may be what happened, the problem.
Right.
Because
Goes
had
to
they
the
used the
address.
tax records, it would have gone to the gentleman and his wife.
Right.
At their resident.
What I'm going to suggest is that we have the borough administrator look at, see if the DPW could move the tree, okay? Even though it's still in the right-of-way, I understand the issue, especially if the tree was put over your sewer line. We'll see if it can be moved, over to the either spot, left or right, of where the old tree was.
Because that's the only, on Main Street, that's the only one that was put on our property.
Okay.
In the middle. All the other ones got
What got between the sidewalk and the thing.
and they don't have trees taken down.
So we'll look and see if we could have our DPW move the tree.
How about the contractor who's putting them in?
Well, that's the other, I don't know if that,
I don't know if they'll come back to move a tree. We could find out.
yeah, we
if they
might
can
have
do
to
that.
pay them, so we might be easier for us to have our DPW do it.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Can I-
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, do we have, because this isn't in the right-of-way, is my understanding. It's on the gentleman's property?
No, it's in the right of way.
Oh,
because-
okay.
No, it's not. Sorry.
Well,
The measurements of what they tell me, if you split that road in half, and you come in your part, you're in the curb. But then I was told that the permit office, they can't get it there, now they can encroach me 5 feet. So in other words, you're coming on my property, putting a tree there, which I don't want on my lawn. Now, as a homeowner or anything, don't we have rights to say,
Well, I guess
no,
that's,
we don't want it?
I guess my question is, are we putting them on people's property if they don't want them? Because I don't see how we can do that, or should we do that?
Well, the intention is, we believe, from when they planned where to plant the tree, that it was within the right of way. But maybe we can check and make sure. I mean,
Yeah, because I wouldn't want,
Look,
we shouldn't be planting on people's property without their permission.
right, but part of people's lawns is also
I
in the
understand.
right of way.
No, I
A
understand
certain
that,
amount of
but-
feet, like,
Right, and what
We
I'm
need to
saying
make
is,
sure.
I agree with you. I think there has to be a better notice requirement. In this case here, we'll see if we could get DPW to move the tree to that other area.
I appreciate it.
Okay?
and Mayor, maybe at a future meeting, we can take this up, but I think there needs to be at least clarification of the policy, because I've heard a couple different things about whether, we have the right to do this or not. And I voiced this to Councilwoman Rasmussen, but I just want to make it public. My view is, we value trees in Metuchen greatly, and they're an important part of our, infrastructure and our appeal and all that. And I think most people, there are many people who would not object to having a tree placed on their lawn. One was placed on my lawn several years ago. I was quite happy to have it there. In the rare cases, such as this gentleman, when a resident objects, and I've had other residents voice this concern to me, who have had trees placed on their lawn. I think because in general, we have a very cooperative population, and residents, for the most part, want trees planted. So when we have someone who really vehemently objects, I don't think we should be in a position of forcing that resident to put a tree on their property. So that's, that's my opinion. I'd like to see at some point what the actual, our policy is, and, because if we could strengthen the notification process, and you get your notification, but if the response is still tough luck, we're putting a tree there, that's not going to be satisfactory. So, I think we do value our trees on the main thoroughfares. We like that canopy appeal, but I think we can achieve that, because in general, I think people are receptive, and we shouldn't really burden people who have a real objection to being placed on their lawn.
All right, let me say one more thing before I give it back to you.
Just please come up to the mic, though, so that you can be
A
heard.
few years back, in front of my own house, a tree came and snapped.
Right, and
I had a councilman and a councilwoman at the time came by, looked at it, said, "We can't save it." I says, "No, can't save it. It's split in half." Well, anyway, make a long story short, they came out and said, "We're going to replant a new tree for you." They gave me an option of 5 types of trees, what I like. I said, that's nice. I'll take the flowering cherry. And that's what I got. Now, as far as trees, I love trees. Don't get me wrong. There's a place for them. Now, if they came to me and said, hey, we're going to give you a tree. Hey, I got a nice backyard back here. Would you please put it there so we can make use of it and sit under as it grows?
See, that's the problem. We can't put it there.
But you put it on my property in the front.
I understand. I think there's a couple things that we have to get a better handle on, and one is the notification, all right? There should have been notification sent to you at your residence, not at the rental property, so that you knew in advance that this was going to happen, so that you have time to react, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is, I agree with Councilman Muldoon that, look, if there's somebody who's objecting, you know, vehemently to putting a tree, then it doesn't serve a purpose for us to force putting the tree. But you seem to be a very workable person. You've been here before when we had to take the tree down.
And you've treated me well every time.
And we're going to treat you well again. And what we're going to do is have our DPW move that tree to one of those spots, not where the stump is, but one of those other spots, so that you would get the tree and they would fill in the hole with some topsoil and some seed.
That's fair.
Okay.
Mayor, if I
That's
may.
it.
Yes.
The policy had always been in the past to not plant a tree if a property owner did not want one on their property, and I'm not sure when that changed, but that had always been the policy in the past, because there are always plenty of people who want trees.
So, and I think part of that is notification too. If the person is notified, then they have time to react and say, hey, I don't want the tree. You know, finding out the day that the tree is going to be planted doesn't work well.
You know, and
No.
to me, it's more than an issue of whether or not the homeowner wants it. I mean, if you're going to be planting there, there's a million things you can interfere with, sprinkler pipe, sewer pipe.
Right.
I mean,
We do have to get markouts before we plant the tree,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, they
we
call
do
it
know
utility,
about
they
the
mark
underground
out
utilities.
The utilities
Yeah.
get marked.
However, they're not going to pick up a sprinkler
Do that
pipe.
when they get mine.
No, I understand.
Yeah, they're not going to, the markouts aren't going to pick that up.
yeah.
Yeah. But we will get it adjusted for you,
I
sir.
appreciate it. Thank you all.
Okay? This is still a public section, so anyone else from the public that would like to come up and have a question or comment? Hearing none, I'm going to close that section of the meeting.
All right, I think we can move on to the budget.
Yes.
Okay, Katie, you have a presented affidavit of publication for the adoption of municipal budget?
No, I have a small section
She has
to read.
to read the whole
Yes.
book.
There's a whole little section that I read. It's not
Yeah.
that,
Oh.
the affidavit for that.
Okay?
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Be it resolved by the governing body of the Borough of Metuchen, County of Middlesex, that the budget herein before set forth is hereby adopted and shall constitute an appropriation for the purposes of the sums therein as set forth as appropriations and authorization of the amount of $10,213,648.92 for municipal purposes. $717,902 is the minimum library levy. General revenues, surplus anticipated, $650,000. Miscellaneous revenues anticipated, $3,428,539. Receipts from delinquent taxes, $675,000. Amounts to be raised by taxation for municipal purposes, $10,213,648.92. Amounts to be raised by taxation, minimum library levy, $717,902. Total revenues, $15,685,089.92.
Okay. First, is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay. Now I'm going to open it to the public on just this issue on the budget. Hearing no questions or comments, I'm going to close that section of the meeting. Katie, this is a roll call vote.
Councilman Camerano.
Yes.
Councilman Grazel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Insero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rasmussen.
Yes.
Councilman Wallace.
Yes.
Council President Muldoon.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, we have reports of the council members. Council President?
Thank you, Mayor. Let's have a couple things. In honor of National Preservation Month, the Borough of Metuchen's Historic Preservation Committee is once again hosting a self-paced scavenger hunt during the month of May. And I don't know if the METV camera person, if you could focus, there's a poster over on that easel over there. If you could maybe focus on that. That shows the 9 elements in this year's contest, which are all visible from the sidewalk at street level along Middlesex Avenue between Main Street and Grove Avenue. So the idea of the scavenger hunt is that people would need to identify from the images on the application form what building that is. And then it's run for the month of May. All complete, correct entries will be pooled, and the winners are drawn at random. Metuchen Chamber of Commerce gift certificates will be awarded to the winners, and there's several age group categories. Other people, runners-up, can receive merchandise from the Metuchen Edison Historical Society. So copies are available in the Borough Hall lobby and at the public library. You can download an entry form at the Borough website, and all of the entries are to be returned to Borough Hall. There's a box in the lobby here by May 31st, and the winners will be announced at the June Borough Council meeting. So again, this is the 3rd year. People seem to enjoy it. It's a way to really discover or rediscover some of the historical and architectural gems we have right here in Metuchen. The second thing is parking authority. The parking authority is close to closing agreements with Woodmont developer for the Pearl Street development, as well as Nexus for the parking deck. One thing that also is progressing is discussions with the American Legion regarding relocation of their building to another location in town. The architect from Woodmont has met with the leadership from the American Legion, so that is progressing too. I think that won't be finalized until, again, the contracts are finalized. So probably by the next council meeting there will be a definitive update that I can share with the public and the council on the Pearl Street development. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Councilman Wallace?
Thank you, Your Honor. I met with the police reserves last week. They have a very extensive schedule set up for all the events we have going on in the next 2 months. They are mapping out all the things they will do to help, and they are aware of the new route of the Memorial Day Parade, and they are making arrangements to get people that will end with the parade at the Egger School back down to the other side of town safely. That's all I have. Oh, I have one more question for the Borough Administrator. Has there been any further updates on what's going on with the bridge? Because I don't see any equipment or people around there.
I usually get updates at an irregular basis. They did discover some problems out there a few weeks ago. They were supposed to start up again today. I did not see them out there.
Me either.
If they're not out there tomorrow, I will contact the DOT and I'll push them along. They did have some issues with rerouting some of the cables for television and power and other things. Those, I understand, have been rectified, so I see no reason why they can't be out there.
Thank you. That's all, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Rasmussen?
Okay, the Shade Tree Commission met, and our spring planting was completed, as everybody knows right now. And I just want to remind the recipients to water the trees off in the first year. And also, in the future, we're going to be providing planting locations to Public Works in case there's certain areas where trees should not be planted. You know, they know the infrastructure and what's going on. So I spoke to Fred Hall, and we're going to be sending them a copy before anything happens for him to approve. The Environmental Commission is still waiting to hear from the Edison Wetlands about the grant we applied for, and we just had to send some supplemental information. So we hope that, you know, in a short time we'll hear if we got the grant. And the Development Commission would like to explore the possibility of marketing Metuchen for Super Bowl visitors. As everybody knows, we're going to be having a Super Bowl here in February of next year, and a lot of towns are jumping on the bandwagon by planning activities already, because not everyone is going to be able to stay, number one, at the hotel across from the arena. So we're hoping that we'll be getting some of the traffic and money from people coming, visiting. We can market Metuchen as a place where you could stay here and take the train, down to the arena. So we're hoping to do something and work with maybe the Recreation Commission and the Chamber to see if we can, get some business.
Good.
And also, I just want to say that the Youth Services Board Magic Show was on Friday. It was a huge success. I think it was the most people that we ever had come to the Magic Show, and the kids had a really great time. And that's my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Insero?
Thank you, Mayor. The Senior Citizen Commission would like everyone to know that about 10 seniors from our center are going to celebrate their 90th birthday party at a county birthday party in Piscataway on May 16th, run by the Middlesex County Office on Aging. The Chamber of Commerce had their golf outing today. They've been really busy. I think everyone knows that cruise night started last week. They're also looking for sponsors and participants for the Memorial Day Parade May 27th, which starts at the Pearl Street lot. As everyone knows, the route has changed. So if you're interested in sponsoring the Memorial Day Parade, go to metuchenchamberexchange.com or call their office. And this Saturday, May 11th, the Board of Health will be having their rabies clinic. So if you have a dog or cat that is due for a rabies shot, bring it to Metuchen High School between 9 a.m. and noon, but be sure that it's on a leash or in a container. And if you have any questions, call 632-8503. And one other thing that I'd like to mention is that on Saturday, May 18th, from 10 a.m. to noon, a planning group called Together North Jersey is having a public workshop, very similar to the public workshops that we've had at the Senior Center when we look to do projects in Metuchen or get people's input on projects that are happening in Metuchen. Except this is a Middlesex County workshop for people who want to give their ideas about what they would like to see happen regarding transportation, housing, jobs, educational opportunities, cultural opportunities, educational opportunities. And this is the organization we're waiting to see if we win a grant from. So if there's anyone in Metuchen or Edison, civic groups, arts groups, education groups who can come to this workshop, it would be really great. And that's my report.
Thank you very much. Councilman Grazel?
The Metuchen Arts Council met on April 22nd, 2013, and we spent a lot of time talking about the plans for the upcoming summer cultural season. On Sunday, April 14, 2013, the gallery at the Rotunda here at Metuchen Borough Hall had a grand opening of a showing of work by a young contemporary artist named David Nicolato. His artwork, which features primarily cut paper with ink and mixed media, will be shown here at Borough Hall until June 30th, 2013. David is a graduate of J.P. Stephen High School and has a fine arts degree from the Mason Gross School of Arts at Rutgers. The Student Gallery at Borough Hall is featuring artwork by Metuchen High School students. A closing reception for the artists will be held at Borough Hall on the first night of Junebug on June 7, 2013. When you enter Borough Hall, you'll see the Rotunda Gallery right in front of you to your left and right. If you want to look at the student artwork, which I'd encourage you to do, you make a left-hand turn, and it's featured on the far end of the hallway. The Art in the Garden Tour will be held on Saturday, June 8, 2013, between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. The tour will feature 6 spectacular gardens at Metuchen homes with artwork by Metuchen artists. Musical entertainment will also be provided at the different locations. The tour will begin at the BIL, where maps will be handed out. Tickets cost $25 and can be purchased from Borough Hall. You can contact Nancy Goldberg at 732-632-8502, or you can also purchase tickets at Borough Hardware, Marafiki, To Be Continued, and the Brass Lantern. Proceeds from the event will benefit the Arts Council. This summer, the Arts Council will once again be sponsoring the summer concert series Metuchen Rocks. There will be 4 concerts. Each concert will be held at the Metuchen Senior Center starting at 7:30 p.m. and is free of charge. On August 15th, it will feature the Phil Jazz Orchestra. On August 22nd, Aaron Shewell and the Whiskey Devils, which is a rhythm and blues band. On August 29th, Random Test, which is a reggae band. And on September 1st, Citizen Band Radio, which is a country rock band. The honor of creating the Junebug sculpture has gone to local artist Linda LaStella. She's hard at work on her creation, which will be unveiled on the first night of Junebug. I want to remind everyone that Dan Alderman runs a program called Open Mics. It's an opportunity for local people with talent, and even people who believe they have talent, to perform for a local audience. During Junebug, the first and third Friday, the open mic is scheduled at To Be Continued, and the second and fourth Friday at Brood Awakening. The TV and Technology Committee met on April 26, 2013. Council President Muldoon had requested that the committee work on formulating a social media policy and strategy for the borough, and it has been working diligently on this project. Our chair, Beatrice Moskowitz, and member Donald Yerger attended a conference sponsored by the New Jersey GMIS and Association of Government IT Leaders, which featured seminars on social media for municipalities. They learned that municipalities are increasingly turning to social media outlets to engage in communications with constituents. We had a special guest, Jennifer Fong, come and address the group on the proposed policy. Jennifer, a Metuchen resident and mother of 3, is a marketing professional who works on social media for corporate clients. As a volunteer, she has helped the Presbyterian Church with its website and Facebook page. She reviewed our proposed policy and made some constructive suggestions. She provided a background on the importance of social media for business and nonprofit organizations. Also attending was Rich DeSimone and Stephanie Gibbons on behalf of METV. They discussed an upcoming community media conference in New Brunswick between May 15th to 17th, which will be dealing with some timely issues regarding communication infrastructure for emergencies. That completes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Camerano?
Thank you, Your Honor. The Library Board continues to progress on their renovations in the children's room. As of now, we think we're on time to wrap it up in time for the summer programming. Electrical work, I believe, is completed, if I'm not mistaken, and they moved on to painting and repairing the walls and then moving everything back in. It's actually a tremendously large room. When you see it empty, it's a pretty impressive room.
And remember, I won a ribbon cutting for everybody so that the community can enjoy that
I think
advertise it very well.
We will be doing it, and I think the community will really enjoy it, and I think it's a good way to keep the kids engaged in reading and other programs along those lines. Also, the library's summer programming is coming up. Residents should check the website or visit the library to get information on the summer programming. The Pool Commission continues to prepare for the summer. There will be some improvements to the kiddie pool, including retiling, which I think is in the works and should be done in time. And again, they continue to improve the pool every year. You can still register. You have missed the early registration, so there is an additional charge for registering late, but you can certainly do that, get information on the borough website. And the EMS meets later in the month. And just 2 other issues, Your Honor. I'd like to thank you and the fire chief for arranging for us to look at fire trucks past and present. I say that kidding because I actually got to sit in the cab of a 1970 fire truck, and it wasn't moving, but it was actually kind of scary that we actually have that thing on the road. But the presentation of the 3 trucks, the 1970 to 1989, I think it is, and then a version of what the fire department is looking at, really helped draw a contrast in my mind. You also get to see by climbing around on the trucks that there is a great deal of wear and tear that goes into them. So I'd like to thank you. Whoever thought of it, it was a great idea.
Well, I think it was a combination of me and the chief.
Gave us real life experience to see the equipment firsthand. And just wanted to follow up with Councilwoman Rasmussen on the cemetery, and I think somebody can deal with that. They are working on the problem with the pots. Seems to be, from my understanding, a number of causes, including the wind. And also, something I learned, animals drag the pots away because of the bulbs. So they are trying to work on that problem, a combination of things, but they are aware of it and they are working on it.
Interesting about the animals and the bulbs. Never thought of it.
Neither did I. You learn something
Okay.
new every day. So I have no further report.
Thank you. Bill, do you have a report?
I have no report.
Dennis?
Mayor, I just have one thing to report, and that's relating to NJ's Tavern. And I just want to let everyone know that NJ's has advised the ABC that it does have a purchaser for both the liquor license and the property. After receiving the ABC's blessing, then it will come back before you for, and after an investigation on the application for transfer.
Investigation by our police
By our
department.
police department, yes.
Right. Okay.
So we will get the vote on the license?
I believe so. I mean, we still have to hear from the ABC, and we'll continue to take the position as we have had in the past, that we're not taking a position relating to the disciplinary action relating to NJ's Tavern, but we wanted to express that the borough did not want to lose the license.
Thank you.
Okay. I just have a few items. One, May 8th is the YMCA dinner. It'll be honoring all different groups of people who have been involved in the development of the Greenway. So any council people, I think there's still tickets that are available. It is at the Pines at 6 o'clock. I wanted to thank again the fire chief for going out of his way and getting the fire department, our fire department, but also the Warwick Fire Department, which is a little bit away, to come down here with 2 volunteers on a Sunday, give up a good portion of their Sunday so that everybody could view the type of truck that we're looking at. It will be a real blessing to the borough to having a newer truck. And I know that the 1970 Mack had to be used a couple times because our ladder truck was out of being serviced. Had to go out, I think it was 2 times last week. One all by itself for one fire because we had 2 fires going on at one time. The other thing is that last time I had reported that we would be receiving our open space grant from the county. That was postponed until May 16th. It was supposed to happen on May 2nd, but May 16th at the freeholders meeting, we're assured that it will be on the agenda this time and that we will be receiving our monies for the Town Center Plaza, Town Center Green. And that concludes my report.
Your Honor, just one little thing, if I may. And Councilman Wallace, I know you know this, but I was shocked to learn that 1970 Mack truck is a gasoline engine, not a diesel.
I didn't know that.
It is.
And I never heard of that on a truck, you know, but
Not old,
it was an
right?
interest. That's how old it
They
is.
used to use horses, too.
Well, first they had hands drawn.
Well, Bill,
then
you
they
may
went
be
to
one of the
horses.
few people old enough to remember that.
Okay. Touche.
Council President, I went a little bit out of order, so we
Yeah, I
could
think
do the communications
yep,
consent
gotcha.
agenda. I threw you a curve tonight.
I got, I'm with you.
Okay.
Mayor, I move that the communication set agenda items 10 through 16 be approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right, now we have the new business consent agenda, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I move that items 21 through 24 and 26 and 27 be approved.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now item 25 has got to be brought forth.
Yes, for discussion. I think we were just looking for, the borough administrator could just give a little explanation of...
Well, move it first.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry,
then-
yeah, okay, I move that item number 25, Resolution 2013-103.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. And Bill, could you just fill people in on us as to what this is?
Sure. This is what we know as our May installment of bond anticipation notes. These notes have been rolled over since 2005 and added to over the years. The amount of the authorized bond anticipations note in the series 2012A was $5,984,225. The borough will be paying down $300,000 of those notes. So when we go out to the bond sale, we will be going out for $5,684,925.
Okay.
Just a note, no pun intended, since these notes started in 2005, the borough has paid down $1.2 million of principal. So every year we do have a component that pays off of the principal, and of course the interest on these notes is required by law, so they don't just stay out there until we go to permanent financing. We're working with the auditor and with bond counsel to come to a date when we do go to permanent financing.
Okay, any questions from the council?
Yeah, I just had a couple of questions. Bill, do you have any idea how the interest rate for this financing for this group will compare to last year's?
It should compare favorably. It depends upon the market, obviously. It also depends upon who is interested and whether or not they're going to give us a premium on the notes.
Do you anticipate returning to council and asking for further authorization on rolling over the revenue anticipation notes? I noticed the number here is about, it's going to be 5.6. I know there's additional revenue anticipation.
Right, we
notes.
have a series that's going to come due in June, and that is for $1,000,007.
Thank you.
That's prior to any pay down on those. We just have the two series, and as you know, we're working with the auditor and with bond counsel to determine when we're going to go to the market on these. There are going to be some notes that are canceled. We're also going to have some funded bonds that will be canceled as well, but we haven't worked out the detail. We are working to extend the life of the building for bonding purposes, which will help us out substantially with regard to the notes, the bonds that were taken out for this building. So we're looking at a number of options here. We do think that the timing is good. We are getting interest from various companies on buying some of our bonds and refunding. So once we come up with a plan or a better idea of a plan, we will present it to council.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, could we then vote on this? We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All righty.
Mayor, I move that a bill resolution in the amount of $2,390,092.50 be approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I have an appointment, which is an appointment that has to be approved by the council for the Art Council. It is Tamir Hadalik? Haladic? If I said that correctly. I'm moving that appointment. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. All?
No, well, you make the appointment.
Oh, I made the appointment, then you have to move it.
Okay, I move the appointment.
Okay, is there a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to open it to the public again. Any questions or comments, please come forth, state your name and address.
Yeah, jump that again.
Frank Camerano, 23 Elm Avenue, Metuchen here. President of the Cemetery Board. I really came here tonight to say thank you to the council. I know that you got an anonymous letter, and we got the anonymous letter. I'm glad to see that the public is really interested in keeping the cemetery a nice place to go to and a respectful place. The one thing that it has done is when we put that field there, it's opened up, people now know that we have a cemetery in Metuchen that's open. But I'd like to really say is thank you for coming up with the plan of moving the trees and putting them all in. Councilman Camerano and I were down there the other day, and they're really looking great. People can't sit on the hills anymore. And the only problem we still have is that kids who are not playing are over on the field. And I understand that, in talking to Bill Borth, and thanks, Bill, I understand that we will be getting the fence in a short period of time.
Yes.
So I just wanted to make a public statement, because to the anonymous person, I wanted to thank him for being concerned, but I also wanted to let them know that you guys had this plan instituted and started before our March meeting, which means sometime in February you had that. It wasn't that you guys were sitting on anything, as the letter kind of indicated. So I want to say thanks for that, and it's starting to look great. And we, as a group from the cemetery board, it's a nonprofit group. We're 11 men and women running a cemetery for the community. No pay for that, and I just wanted people to kind of know that. And the one great thing about it is that we do have concern, and we want to keep it. We also don't want to close it. We found that during the hurricane that we had, fortunately, we were open, gates were open. We even took out a post, so your police and fire department. So we're there to cooperate. Also, in cooperating with the planting, we're supplying the water to keep the plants alive. So I want to say thank you. And I also want to let the public know that we're there, and we're there, hopefully, that the people will respect it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Camerano. And I jumped ahead again, so...
Okay, we're good. We're tracking with you.
Now we have two ordinances.
Yeah.
Anyone else from the public? Hearing none, I'm going to close that section of the meeting.
Mayor, a motion that ordinance number 2013-5 be introduced and taken up on first reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
No, wait, I have to read it by title.
Okay, sorry, read
It
it.
says next. Kate, would you read the ordinance by title?
An ordinance to amend the code of the Borough of Metuchen, various chapters to amend certain application, license, and permit fees.
Okay.
Okay, my motion that ordinance be passed on first reading, published according to law, and public hearing set down for,
May 20th.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
And it's a roll call vote.
Councilman Camerano.
Yes.
Councilman Grazel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Insero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rasmussen.
Yes.
Councilman Wallace.
Yes.
Council President Muldoon.
yes.
Okay, so we'll have a public hearing on May 20th for that ordinance. This other ordinance, there was some question as to why we have this when we have a Youth Services Board Municipal Alliance Committee. And evidently, the county now is requiring that we have this adopted by ordinance. It's always the Youth Service Board. It used to be Family Life Living Group, then it became the Youth Service Board over the years. And then when the alliances were developed, we just added, and we got permission from the county to be the Metuchen Youth Service Board Municipal Alliance, but it was never, we found it was never done by ordinance. So they're asking that in order to keep our grant possibilities available, which I believe they bring in around $13,000 to $14,000 a year, we have to do this by ordinance now. So I want to thank Dennis for doing the research, getting that done, and Mrs. Rasmussen for her part in it. And so that's why we have this ordinance now, even though we have the group, and the group has been there for a very long time. Now we have to codify it by ordinance and make it, quote, official, to make sure they can continue getting their grant monies.
So I move that ordinance number 2013-6 be introduced and taken up on first reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay.
Katie, would you read the ordinance by title only?
An ordinance creating the Municipal Alliance Youth Service Board.
I move that the ordinance be passed on first reading, published according to law, and public hearing set down for...
May 20th, 2013.
Is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Camerano?
Yes.
Councilman Grayzel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Insero?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rasmussen?
Yes.
Councilman Wallace?
Yes.
Council President Muldoon?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So we will hear that on May 20th also.
Mayor, I think-
Remember, May 20th, we have the Complete Streets coming in, so our time, we're going to start again at 7 o'clock. I've made the arrangements for that. So we have the
Do we-
general...
I'm gonna have trouble making that 7. Do we,
I could see if he could push it back, but we could do that, see if he could go back to...
because do we have, that's the only additional
Correct.
item to our normal agenda,
Right,
right?
so I'll see if he could move it to 7:30.
Okay, that would help me out if we
Okay.
could.
I'll see if we could move it to 7:30, and it will, Katie will let you know.
Okay,
All right?
thank you.
Okay. I know I'm out of order again. I'm going to open it to the public just in case there's any other questions or comments. Hearing none, I'm going to close that section of the meeting.
Mayor, I move that we adjourn, or move for adjournment.
I thought we did this.
Which one?
Yeah, this was added already, the 2013
Yeah, we did that,
is
yep.
105.
Yep,
Yeah.
That was added already.
I think we covered everything.
I guess I have an old one.
Okay.
You have a new...
All right, I'm sorry.
Right, Katie, that was done, correct?
Yes,
sorry,
Mayor.
Yes, okay.
I move for adjournment.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for a very brief and pointed and well-run meeting, except from my point.